Hi guys, it's Frankie from Frankie Tech. Good to see you guys again. And I'm here at the forest looking at the backside here of this building. But guess what guys, I have a phone now. I ran a poll and you guys voted, and your wish is my command. And here's your first look on Frankie Tech of the OnePlus 8T. There it is in all its glory. This gorgeous green color, absolutely stunning color. And obviously, what did you expect? I had to get this phone in green, right? Now, I shout out to my man Lampo, who came out of retirement to get me this phone. He's still working actually, and he managed to get me this phone for a price of, get this, 4,000 Hong Kong dollars, just about. So that's 515 US dollars. And at that price, guys, this phone is actually very compelling. Not at the $749 price that it came at, but at the $515 price that I got it at. And it is just looking absolutely stunning here. So we'll talk a little bit about this phone, but the main purpose of me doing this video right now is I do want to compare this OnePlus 8T to the Mi 10T Pro, which I will be doing a more extensive comparison with those two phones. The battle begins today. And anyways, talking about design, looking at this phone, I feel like I'm using a kind of a more high-end version of this Realme X7 Pro. Guys, that, as you know, I've been testing for quite a while. It's got a same 6.55-inch display, just like this phone. But obviously, this is a gorgeous color. I remember MKBHD saying he wasn't a fan of this kind of green, but give me a green phone any day of the week. I love it. Obviously, in terms of design, I mean, this is a stunning device, but I don't know about this glossy back. Don't know how I feel about that yet. I still think the OnePlus 8 Pro is the nicest design of any OnePlus phone we've seen this year. But once again, 6.55-inch display, full HD, 120 hertz. That's the big kind of update here on this phone. Let me lower the brightness here so we can get a more kind of decent look. And it looks like a really solid panel. Initial impressions, I think it's, you know, a step above maybe even what we see on the Realme X7 Pro. Talking about performance, obviously Snapdragon 865 with a 4,500 milliampere battery. The first OnePlus phone with 65 warp charging. And that is exciting because the Realme, series, the Realme phones that I've tested typically have had that since the X2 Pro. It's great to see it here on this phone. Dual stereo speakers should be the case on this phone, at least through the earpiece. And let's do the classic Frankie Tech camera shot here real quick. There we go. Really fast. Wow, super responsive shutter speed there on this OnePlus 8T. And you also have obviously a zoom feature there. You have an ultra wide, but there is no, just like the OnePlus 8, there is no telephoto lens. And Sony IMX586 OnePlus, what were you thinking? This is still a very gorgeous device, and I love the flat panel, but that's just something to keep in mind right here. Anyway, we're gonna do a full review of this phone on the channel. Stay tuned for that. And as you can see, I'm running Oxygen OS here, although this is the China version, but it looks like I think they actually updated the software for me. Let's hear about phone. There we see it, Oxygen OS. Yes, it looks like they flashed Oxygen OS onto this OnePlus 8T. But now let's do it, guys. I'm gonna try to set this up for the first time ever I've tried to do this, so bear with me here. I'm gonna use my backpack as kind of a mobile rig here. And let's see if I can actually set this up. There we go, there we go. Now we're doing it. And bring you your first look of the OnePlus 8T next to the Mi 10T Pro. And honestly guys, these phones are very different in terms of design, but I gotta say, I'm really loving this Mi 10T Pro. It's absolutely a stunning device just in terms of design. I think it's probably a step above what we see on a lot of phones in their price point. There you see the camera modules on these phones and 865 powered phones. Both of these devices definitely are powerhouse devices. Looking at the front panels, let's have a look. Here we go. But a big difference here, we have IPS LCD 144 Hertz versus 120 Hertz AMOLED. Now, which one do you think I prefer better? I'll leave it at that. Let me kind of put these down so I can get an actual better vantage point here. This camera rig thing is kind of falling apart right now. So let's go ahead and do that. And there we go. You see a lot better vantage point here of these phones. Now the OnePlus 8T, it definitely is a stunning device, and it's going to have all of the kind of software features that I appreciate from Oxygen OS. But MIUI 12 on the Mi 10T Pro is one of the best that I've experienced on any Xiaomi phone this year. And as you can see here, let's kind of increase the brightness here on the OnePlus 8T, which seems a bit dim compared to kind of my experience with the OnePlus 8 Pro. But let's look at these bezels you can see there. Obviously the bezels on these phones. The sights and sounds of Hong Kong as usual. The bezels on these phones are definitely different. A little bit smaller here, or quite a bit smaller on the 8T. As you can see, I would say a good millimeter and a half. I mean, let's face it, guys, the OnePlus 8T has always had better industrial design, and you know, Xiaomi is really catching up though, I feel, with this OnePlus, with this Mi 10T Pro. It is a stunning device, especially in this Aurora blue. I think it's just absolutely a beautiful, beautiful look here. But let's flip these over on the backs. And I better not drop this OnePlus 8T here. I'm gonna have a lawsuit on my hands. Looking at the backs, there you see them. Absolutely stunning devices through and through. Are you getting vertigo? Stay tuned, of course, for the full review and comparison between these phones. But the battle begins here on Frankie Tech between the Mi 10T Pro and the OnePlus 8T. And do hit me up with any questions, any comments, and what specific video comparisons you would like to see between these two phones. I'll be happy to do them here on Frankie Tech. So that's it for this video, guys. If you liked it, give me that thumbs up. And if you love the content of Frankie Tech, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon for future updates. Stay tuned, guys. More great content here, as always, on Frankie Tech. Hey, you asked, I delivered. The poll winner was this phone. And here it is, the OnePlus 8T on the channel. Let the battle begin, guys. Let the battle begin. So that's it. And this is where I leave you by saying, this is Frankie Tech signing off. Have a good one. Oh yeah. No lawsuits today, baby. No lawsuits today.